It all began with a moment that nobody could have predicted. A quiet morning at Tesla's private testing ground in Texas would soon turn into one of the most shocking encounters between technology, politics, and the future of American industry. Elon Musk, the man who has reshaped electric vehicles, space travel, and even the way people think about technology, was preparing to show something he had kept hidden for years. And the person he chose to invite for this secret test drive was none other than former US President Donald Trump. The invitation itself had been unusual. No cameras, no media outlets, not even Tesla employees outside the inner circle. Only a handful of engineers, Elon Musk himself, and Donald Trump would be present. The secrecy was deliberate. Musk wanted the shock value, the raw reaction, and the undeniable human emotion when Trump experienced what Musk had been building, a car that defied the very laws of conventional energy. A self-powered vehicle, one that ran without charging, without fuel, without plugging into any grid. Trump's helicopter landed just after sunrise. The Texas wind carried dust across the landing pad as the blades slowed. He stepped out with his signature confidence, his red tie catching the sunlight, and his expression curious but skeptical.
Where's this miracle car of yours, Elon?
Trump's voice carried a mix of impatience and sarcasm, as if daring Musk to prove him wrong. Elon Musk, dressed casually in a black jacket and jeans, smiled in his usual calm yet mischievous way. "It's right behind you," he said. Trump turned, and there it was, sleek, futuristic, with a design unlike any Tesla ever released. The car seemed to hum silently, as though energy pulsed inside it. No exhaust pipe, no charging port, no gas tank. Its very existence was a statement. Trump paused, staring at it. "So, this runs on nothing? You're telling me it powers itself? Come on, Elon. People have been saying that's impossible since the beginning of time." Musk chuckled lightly. People also said reusable rockets were impossible. But we're landing them now. This is the next step. A self-sustaining energy cycle. No gas. No charging.
Infinite drive.
The engineers standing nearby exchanged glances. They had witnessed countless test runs, but watching Trump's reaction was a spectacle of its own. Trump walked around the car slowly, tapping the windows, squinting at the wheels. "If this works the way you're saying, Elon, you realize what this means for America? For the auto industry? For jobs?" Elon nodded. "That's exactly why I wanted you to see it first. Because if we take this into mass production in the USA, it will change everything."
Énergie indépendance, manufacturing revival, and a new era of American technology leadership.
Trump laughed in disbelief, shaking his head. "Show me."
If this thing moves the way you say, you'll be shocked.
Elon gestured toward the driver's seat.
Why don't you drive it yourself?
Trump's eyes widened. "Me?
Drive this thing?
What if it blows up?" "It won't blow up," Musk replied calmly. "Trust me." With cameras secretly rolling from Tesla's security feeds, not for the public yet, but for documentation, Trump stepped into the car. The interior glowed with futuristic panels, smooth designs, and a minimalist control system that made even the latest Teslas look outdated. Trump ran his fingers over the dashboard. "This looks like something out of a science fiction movie." Musk leaned down through the open window.
Press the button.
"You'll see." Trump pressed the ignition, expecting the usual hum of an electric engine. Instead, there was silence, absolute silence, yet the dashboard lit up instantly, showing full power.
No engine noise. Trump muttered.
"It doesn't need one," Elon said. "Energy is being generated internally, recycled continuously. The car never runs out." Trump shook his head in disbelief.
That's insane.
He shifted into drive and pressed the accelerator. The car surged forward effortlessly, smoother than anything he had ever driven. The track stretched out ahead, and Trump pushed harder, the car gliding with astonishing speed. The engineers watched nervously, but Musk remained calm. He knew the car would perform flawlessly. As Trump completed his first lap, his expression had changed. The skepticism was gone. His jaw hung slightly open, his hands gripping the steering wheel tightly. He slowed the car, pulled up next to Musk, and rolled down the window. "This thing doesn't feel like a car," Trump said.
"It feels alive."
Musk simply smiled. "That's the future." Trump stepped out, his face flushed. For once, he was nearly speechless. He pointed at the car, then at Elon. If this gets out, if you start making these in America, you'll rewrite history. You'll destroy the oil industry, the charging networks, half the auto companies. And you'll create something no one can compete with. That's why it has to be done here, Elon replied firmly.
In America.
We can't let China or Europe get ahead of us on this. The patents are protected, the science is solid, and the time is now. Trump rubbed his chin, pacing back and forth. The media won't believe it. They'll call it a hoax. People will say it's fake. But once they see it with their own eyes, Musk interrupted gently. That's why you were the first person outside my team to see it. Because whether people like you or hate you, they pay attention to your reaction. And I wanted the world to see your face when you realized it was real. Trump laughed loudly, throwing his hands in the air. Well, you got me, Elon. I'm shocked. Totally shocked. This is the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. The two men stood there, side by side, staring at the silent machine that could append the world. A self-powered car. No charging. No fuel.
Endless energy.
And in that moment, the real question began to echo across the minds of those present. Would Elon Musk actually build this in America? Or would global politics, oil lobbies, and corporate giants stop it before it ever reached the public? The narrator's voice deepens as the screen fades to black. This was only the beginning. What happened next would set off debates across the highest levels of government, industry, and the public.
Coup d'América endole the trousse.
Could it handle the revolution of a car that needed nothing but itself to run forever?
The music swell.
To be continued. The following hours at Tesla's private track were unlike anything the staff had ever witnessed. The secret meeting was supposed to last 30 minutes. Instead, it stretched deep into the afternoon. Trump, usually known for dominating conversations, was oddly quiet, processing what he had just experienced. He kept pacing around the car, circling it like a man who had stumbled onto buried treasure but couldn't believe it was real. Elon, he finally said, breaking the silence, if you roll this thing out to the public, it'll be bigger than the iPhone.
Bigger than the moon landing.
But you've got to be careful. There are people who won't want this to succeed. Oil, energy companies, even governments. Musk didn't flinch. He knew the risks. I'm not worried about competition. I'm worried about control. If we don't do this right, the wrong people could take it, copy it, and twist it for their own gain. That's why it has to be American production, on American soil, with the strictest oversight. Trump crossed his arms.
America first. He liked that.
But Elon, you've got to think bigger. This isn't just about cars. This kills gas stations. This kills charging networks. It kills half the industries politicians are tied to. They're going to fight you tooth and nail. Musk nodded. That's why I invited you. You've seen firsthand how politics works, how industries pressure leaders.
You understand the battlefield.
And I know you care about American workers, American factories. If we bring this into production here, it could create millions of jobs. Detroit, Ohio, Texas. We could revive entire states. Trump smirked, pointing a finger at Musk.
Job, Elon.
That's the magic word. People love jobs. And if you're telling me you can bring back manufacturing stronger than China, I'm all in. The engineers, listening from a distance, exchanged looks of astonishment. They had worked on the technology for years, but now they were hearing discussions that could shape the destiny of the project and the nation. Trump leaned into the car again, studying the dashboard. So tell me, how does it work?
Don't give me the science lecture. Just give me the big picture.
Musk folded his arms. Think of it this way. Traditional cars rely on gas, which burns and produces energy. Electric cars rely on batteries, which you have to charge from the grid. But this car generates and recycles its own power.
The system keeps itself alive. You never plug it in. You never fill it up.
It just runs. Forever. Trump's eyes widened. Forever. Musk smiled faintly. As long as the parts last, yes. There's no fuel, no charging station dependency. That's why it's revolutionary. It's not just cleaner than electric, It's beyond electric. Trump shook his head, chuckling. That's crazy. You know the media's going to lose their minds. They'll say it's fake. They'll call you a scammer. They'll try to bury you. Musk's expression didn't change.
Let them talk.
Once people see it with their own eyes, there will be no denying it. The truth spreads faster than lies when the evidence is undeniable. As the sun dipped lower, Trump asked the inevitable question. So what's stopping you, Elon? Why isn't this already out there? Musk took a long pause. Timing.
End protection.
Technology this disruptive could cause chaos if dropped suddenly. Imagine oil stocks collapsing overnight, charging networks becoming worthless, billions of dollars vanishing from industries. That kind of collapse could destabilize economies. So the rollout has to
Be stratégique.
controlled. And it has to be here, in the US, not abroad. Trump nodded slowly, finally beginning to understand the magnitude. You're talking about rewriting the entire energy map of the world. That's bigger than anything I've ever seen. At that moment, one of Musk's lead engineers approached hesitantly. Mr. Musk, Mr. Trump, there's something you should see. They followed him into a nearby hangar where several prototypes were lined up. Each one looked slightly different, some sleek and futuristic, others rugged, built like SUVs and trucks. Trump's jaw dropped. You've built more than one. Musk raised an eyebrow.
You think idée un vie tu ir fort juste à single prototype?
We've been working on different models. Sedans, trucks, even military-grade vehicles. This isn't a one-car experiment. This is a platform.
À révolution.
Trump whistled low. This is history. He walked up to a larger vehicle, shaped like a truck but with a design that screamed futuristic power. He slapped the side panel. This thing could replace every diesel truck in America. The trucking industry alone would go nuts for this. Musk's tone grew more serious. Exactly. But that's also why we have to be cautious. Too fast a rollout, and we collapse industries overnight.
Too slow, and other nations steal the lead. The balance is delicate.
Trump grinned, shaking his head.
You're a genius, Elon.
But you also need someone who understands the fight. And I'm telling you right now, if you announce this, every lobbyist in Washington will be on your back. They'll call you dangerous, irresponsible, even un-American. But deep down, they'll be terrified. Because they know this kills their power. The room fell silent for a moment, the weight of history settling over everyone. Musk finally broke the silence. That's why I brought you here. I don't just want to show you. I want to know if you'll stand behind this. If you'll help make sure America gets this before anyone else. Trump's expression hardened into determination. Elon, I've seen a lot of big things in my life. Deals, towers, airplanes, even the presidency. But this is the biggest. If you put this into American hands, it's unstoppable. And yes, I'll stand behind it. Musk smiled for the first time that day, not the mischievous smirk but a genuine relieved smile. The kind that comes from knowing a vision was understood. Then it begins. The camera would cut, in the documentary style, to a wide aerial shot of the Texas facility, the sun setting in the distance, and the silent cars gleaming under the fading light. The narrator's voice returns. This was no longer a simple test drive. This was the birth of a decision that could change the course of American history. But the question still lingered. Could Elon Musk really bring this car into full-scale production in the United States? Or would the combined weight of global industries, governments, and skeptics shut it down before it began?